Hello and welcome to Eurocine Expo 2025 here in Munich. I'm joined by Uwe Greiner.
Exactly.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Properly, which didn't mangle it, which is good. A show like this is great because people come together and talk and network and learn. With the sessions and everything. I'm always fascinated talking to any creative and finding out what set them down this path. Where did it, at some point in life, a light bulb went on, literally, and you followed that path ever since? What was that for you? Was it in childhood or was it later on?
No, it was later. It was kind of an accident. So I was studying history, and then I had like a summer job.
Yeah.
In a distribution company who was like selling film rights, and at one point the summer job got a regular job.
Yeah.
And then I had a trainee. And then when I was quite young, so I moved in with him like as a roommate.
Yeah.
And he was in a film school, and then a colleague of him did a film.
Yeah.
And he asked me to help. And then I said, yeah, I can. I don't have no idea, but I try to, and it would be nice to see what's happening on the set.
Yeah.
So because I'm only selling movies here now, and then I got on set and I said, yeah, you should be the electrician. And I said, okay, who's in the department with me? And they said, no one. So I was the only one. That was my first day on a film set with electrics, and quite dangerous in a way.
The deep end and dangerous, yeah.
But then I was working there for a week. We were like playing around with, and I
didn't kill anyone.
I didn't kill anyone. That was good. So the safety switch worked all the time, and then I really liked it. So I took weeks off from my job to get into do another short films and things like this. And I would say after a year, I quit the job, left the office, and got into the lighting department.
Brilliant, yeah. And then it went from there. You make it sound very easy, but it's the kind of thing that you've got to have an aptitude for it, but you've got to have a passion there. I think finding something that I really do like this. And then, how many years have you been doing this now?
That was 31 years ago.
Right.
And
so now you're in a state where you're giving back to the industry, but
yeah, I don't know, but I try to. No, I still love it. I think it's what I liked from the first point was it was like going back to childhood in a way, as you could play around and just have fun and create something. And then when I got deeper into it, I also liked the lifestyle that you can say for yourself. I don't want that earn super much money, but I want to have half a year off or something like this, or take 3 months off and then go back into business and then really concentrate on something. So it was the combination of this creative technical work, because I'm not pure creative, I can say. I'm also very technical gaffer, and the kind of lifestyle that really cope to me.
It's true, isn't it? Yeah, you are in control.
Yeah,
to a large degree, aren't you? When you take the jobs. But you're right. Lighting is a real fusion of quite deep technical knowledge and a creative eye, isn't it? It must be, because sometimes they don't go together, do they? They can be very technical, but to manage to mix them both.
Yeah.
What's what do you enjoy most? Is it working with a DP and the director to get exactly what they want, or is it the sheer technical side of?
Yeah, it's both in a way. So for me, it's I think there are like gaffers who see themselves as creative gaffers. They do the lighting, and for me it's a little bit different. I like to realize what's the vision of the DP, and I love it if I can help bring it to reality, or the director too. and also I'm a technical person in a way, so I'm fascinated by any new technology, and so that was a good combination. And also for me, there's an important third part, because in my job you have to be a diplomat.
Yes.
I think, because you have the creatives on one side, it's one side of your job, and you have the, let's say, production on the other side. And sometimes it's hard for them to communicate, One side has a dream and the other side has no money.
Yes, I was going to say budget, actually no money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then also, and they don't know about how to create things, I think it's a hard job if a producer or production manager and the DP says, I need this, and you have absolutely no idea why.
Yeah.
So it's also part of my job, or important part, to communicate between these two parts, that the production understands why also for them a specific solution might be the best. To maybe create the best image that they want to, because they want to sell what they are shooting, or because it's most efficient or possible to do it, and that's an important part of my job, or I feel it like this. And I think it's also because I think I have something like a talent for this diplomatic part, and that's also, I think, a big part of this career that I had.
They're the parts you relish, I guess. Yeah. And I mean, lighting, talking about technical innovation, lighting is it's phenomenal. How much has changed, how much new stuff is coming out, how quickly it changes.
No.
Unless you're right in it, you can't hope to keep up on it, can you? Do you really? What's the best part for you? Some new technology comes out, you just want to get your hands on it, try it out, kind of thing. And do you get involved with manufacturers at all?
Yeah. So I would say I'm the lucky guy in a way, because I started, for example, in the end we're talking about the LED revolution, and I started using LEDs 14 years ago.
Oh.
So really it was like these small pads from Roscoe, and even panels that was kind of crappy, but very practical. Or you could, and then it went on, and I was using LEDs more and more. So the last show I did is I had no classical fixture with me, only LED, and so I think the manufacturers also realized that I'm using this equipment heavily, and I like to try it. And so a lot of innovations reach me without a lot of energy.
That's good. Yeah.
So manufacturers contact me and tell me about what is going on and what they want to bring up, and I'll have a look at it, and was thinking about I'm thinking about if it's helpful for me, or what's the key point of this new fixture, and is this key point helping something that I couldn't work until now, let's say like this.
And making them easier to use, because it's that interface, isn't it? That you can have the best light on the earth, but if it's a clunky thing to use and operate, go back to it, are you?
Absolutely. So you have sometimes, so the technical use for electricians is important too, of course. You see, it's doing this and that, and it's hard to handle. And at one point, because it takes so much time to handle it, you don't. And
talking about production side of it, where they're always claiming they have no money, have they jumped on it? The lighting side of it, and just only picked out the bit that it's quick and easy to use. Is there pressure from their side that, well, we can light it more easily or quickly now? Is that a pressure at all?
No.
Leave you alone?
No, not really.
No.
But I think maybe because I started using them for a different reason, because nobody used it, or really less people. And I think I realized very early that with the MX control and all these things, and color control, intensity control, you can be really fast on set.
Yeah.
And fast is one part, but also very exact.
Yeah.
Because in the end, for me, lighting is about position of the light, intensity, and color. It's our three really key points. Yeah. And if you have like control over those three, position you always had, or not really, because very light white LEDs, you can reach position that you couldn't like before. And so for me, that was the point to bring it on my packages. And I don't know what. So I was always a little bit upfront in this revolution.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I would go to like classical lights, maybe there would come up some pressure from the production. So and I heard that sometimes production said, but Uwe was using his iPad and that was all easy, and why don't you? This happens, I guess. It didn't happen to me because I was really on an early stage into this path.
Did people think you were mad when you started using these very early on?
I think, yes. They thought. So,
What's he doing?
Yeah. But even, DPs were like, okay. But then you run into the situation that you realize we should have a light there, but
we can't because
there's no light that is small enough or lightweight enough, or there's no place to cable it or whatever. And then you came up and like, here's like this. Yeah. And it's like, but the color quality is like, but the color quality of black at this point is also not the best choice. So, and of course, all the DPs now are realizing what options you have and that the color science is working quite well, and the telecines and everything is going better and better. So that isn't an issue, I guess. So. And also for the last show, only LED. The DP was a little bit like nervous up front, but it was a budget reason also. But then, he was, let's say after 1 week, he was convinced that that's the right path.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for spending the time to talk to us, Uwe.
Yeah,
it's great to meet you.
Thanks for having me.
Catch up again down the line.
Yeah, I would love to.
And enjoy the rest of the show.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, see you.